Hello, good afternoon, my Tuesday Talk friends. Let me put a little bit of light here. Welcome everybody to our Tuesday Talk. So happy and as usual, so blessed and humbled to be able to share with you on every Tuesday. Wanted to come on quick and share with you a couple of things that I think are going to help you in your journey as you move forward. Welcome everyone. If you are with us live, we appreciate you. If you're listening to the replay, always remember to share because you don't know who's out there that might need this information. And as I speak to you, as I always speak to my diamond friends or those of you who have your goals set for this year to achieve whatever your goals are, so that you could get your ultimate dream, whether it's going to be this year or next year. The important thing is to start working on it from now. As I say, the more you work for it, starting now, step by step, the sooner you achieve your goal. So since we're going to be quick today, I wrote down a couple of questions that as I study them myself, I figured somebody out there wanted to hear it or might be a help to you. And I'm also going to put in the comments which book I would encourage to read so that you could continue in this thought process, right? And I know many of you are business minded and are small business owners or want to be a business owner. And like I always say, I encourage you to do so. It could be that you are also shooting for a higher position at your job or a better position at your job or a new position in a new job, right? So these questions here that you have to ask yourself, you have to be honest with yourself. No matter what it is where you are in life, as long as you want to move forward and have a higher mindset or move for, maybe you might feel you're in a rut. These questions that I'm going to read to you, I want you to ponder on them. If you have a pen and a paper, write them down. If you don't have it, don't worry. You listen again to our Tuesday Talk. But trust me, these questions here are really, it's like Bella says, it's a gut check. Because when I was studying them, I was like, oh, really? You know, and I thought I was doing kind of okay, but I have to do better if I want to achieve or master my goals so I could achieve my dreams, right? The first one says, are my habits, right? This is personal, so you're going to tell yourself, are my habits and actions and behaviors congruent with the vision for my business in my life and my life, right? So in other words, what I'm doing on a daily, my daily habits, my actions, how I behave, is that taking me to the path or through the path that I have to go through to achieve my goals? All right, that's the topic today, is being honest. Be honest with yourself. So this is a I question, a me question, right? Are my habits, not my neighbor's habits, not my parents, not my mate, not my boss, not my co-workers. No, are my habits are in line? You know, my actions, my behavior on a daily, are they in line with the path that I have to go to or through to achieve my business goals or my business in life? You know, whether, like I said, whether if it's a new job, a higher position, a better job, start a business, increase your business, right? Question number 2. Am I prospecting and setting appointments at the level that guarantees my success? And you might say, well, Ellie, how you mean prospecting? Well, no matter what you want to do, you have to talk to people. It could be, let's say for instance, it's a new job that you want or a different job. You have to go out there and get it. So are you going out there and putting yourself out there, setting your resume? I know nowadays everything online. Are you online, you know, letting your profile or your resume be seen? You know, if you're a salesperson, are you out there talking to people? You know, do you have a business that you're networking and you need people? Are you prospecting people, right? Are you doing, not whether you're doing it or not, are you doing enough to guarantee you success? Because if you want 10 new customers, talking to 3 people is not going to bring you 10 new customers, right? If you want 10 new customers, you have to talk to at least 50 people. Because some going to say not now, some going to say no, don't take it personal. And some going to say, I'm not sure, maybe later. And then you're going to find 10 that are going to say yes, right? So 50 is the minimum. I'm just saying if you're serious. So are you doing, or are we being honest? Are we doing or talking or prospecting or inquiring or sending a resume? A young friend of mine, she graduated with her master's, and she was very clear on what kind of job she wanted, and not so much what kind of job, but what kind of pay. You know, because after you get your master's, you don't want to take a job if you could avoid it at minimum wage. So she said she applied to 250 positions in different companies, you know, and she finally landed her dream job. But see the key right there? So her habits, her actions, and her behavior reflected where she wanted to be, which was her dream job. Not only what she wanted to do, but the pay she wanted. So we got to be honest with ourselves. Would I be willing to send or apply 250 positions so I could get my dream job? I want you to ask yourself, right? So if you're starting a business and you have to knock on different doors, are you willing to knock on 250 doors so that you could get your yes? You know, I'm very proud of that young lady. 250 applications. It took her a little while, right? Maybe you might not have that time to wait. Maybe you might have to take something, settle for something, but continue applying so that you could get your dream job. What happens sometimes is that we settle and then we don't keep pushing. Just because you have a job, just because you settle for that position or for that company or for that pay, doesn't mean you can't continue looking or continue knocking or continue applying. Right? It's up to you. It's up to me. Right? So the thing is our behaviors, our habits, or our actions reflecting where we want to be. Right? Number 3, very important, and for me, it's very important. So I hope it is for you too. Do I manage my time? Do I manage my time hour by hour? I'm paying attention to how I invest my time. How many of you out there could raise your hand and say, you know, I'm guilty of sometimes wasting time on things that are not taking me to or through where I want to go to achieve that goal, as little as it is, right? So it's not only paying attention to your time, where you're spending it, but where you invest it or managing it, right? Okay, good stuff, right? It's good stuff. Number 4, am I working on a skill set when it comes to leadership, product knowledge, and other fundamentals? Okay, let's hold up here, but mash your brakes. How do you mean skill set on leadership and product knowledge and other fundamentals? Well, it all depends what, you know, like I always say, I'm biased for business, but not everybody wants to do business. Not everybody is made to do business, you know, to be in business. So that's why I'm talking today, even if it's you want to be a manager or a CEO or COO or whatever it is, vice president, supervisor, assistant manager. All of that takes the same effort as if you were doing your own business. To run somebody else's business is the same as if it was yours. So you have to put the same effort, right? So haven't you been to a store or a restaurant or any particular place? It could be a franchise or it could be an independent. And the manager that you speak to lets you feeling a little down, like, you know, there's a little bit more to be desired. Sometimes it's because that person in that position, because it's not theirs, they don't treat it as they're supposed to. So you're here saying, and that's the manager? That's who they have in charge? So just because it's not yours doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat it as it is, because they give you the position. So they're saying that you are able and capable too. So here the question is, am I working my skill set? If you want to be a boss, a supervisor, a manager, a vice president, a team lead, all that kind of stuff, are you working on that skill set so that when you're applying for that position, or if you're already in that position, for you to be the best that you could be at that position, right? When it comes to leadership and product knowledge. Now, if it's a restaurant, a store, a car dealer, the place where they sell ping pong balls, are you the best person that is there to answer questions? So wherever you work, whether it's yours or not, you got to have that product knowledge. How in the world are you gonna offer that service or sell that product if you don't have the product knowledge? Don't you get disappointed when you go to an establishment and you ask the person that they have there in charge? Unless it's somebody new, you could give somebody a minute or two if it's somebody new for them to get situated in the position. And normally they will tell you, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm new here. Let me get somebody with knowledge, right? With more knowledge. But let's say it's a team lead, a supervisor, assistant manager, a manager, or even an owner. And you ask them, hey, listen, I was looking for this widget. I see you have it in blue. Do you have it in green, or do you have it in red? Or do you have it 2 feet tall, or do you have it 5 feet wide? Isn't it disappointing when they tell you, oh, I'm not sure, let me see? Even if they don't know, the way they answer should be with, they be assertive and, something, let me find out for you. Give me a moment, But they lack that product knowledge. But the way they answer you makes you feel good because you know that they're going to take care of the situation. Now, if you're that person, are you working on that skill set? If it's your own business, are you preparing yourself, or are you starting a new business? Are you preparing yourself for you to have that skill set that when somebody opens that door, or when somebody turns on that computer and you're there on that Zoom, that you could answer every question that they have? Or are you just winging it? Right? The next question. And this one here, I believe, is the most gut-wrenching one, my friends. Am I always working on growing in the areas that I may be deficient in? Let me let it marinate a little bit. Let's repeat it. Am I always working on growing in areas that I may be deficient in? You know why it's so gut-wrenching? Because we feel we know everything in whatever area that we're in. As human beings, that's how we are. No, I got you. I know everything. But there are areas that we're deficient in that we don't pay attention to them because we know we're not good at. But those are the areas that we have to work on the most. Because if you're good in painting, if you're the expert, you don't have to work on that. But let's say you're not so good in taking off the paint. If I'm not a painter, you could tell, right? Well, then work on the one that you're a little deficient on, so that you could be as good as on the one that you're great at. Because you want to be all-rounder, great in whatever it is. If you're a manager, a team lead, a supervisor, and everybody says, oh, he's such a great manager. He treats the customers and the employees, his customer service is excellent. So hey, you feel good. That's your forte. You're good at that. But then when it comes to product knowledge, you're not so strong. So which one are you going to try to work on or work on to develop to get better at? Obviously on the product knowledge, because you're a master in customer service. You're a master in human relations. Everybody wants to work in your team, but then you can't train them on the product knowledge or whatever service because that's your weaker point, right? So that's why I think that one right there, from all of them, from the sixth, we haven't got to the sixth one. From the sixth one, that one there is one of the ones that is most important, right? Am I working on growing on the areas that I'm weakest at, right? Now, I hope you're writing them down. And if you're not writing them down, listen again and write them down and put them on the wall or put them on your journal and on a daily, right? The last one, do I have a follow-up system? Now, in whatever it is that you do, it could be following up on improving on the previous 5 questions. It could be follow up because you applied to a position. Some of us have been guilty in our careers of applying someplace or sending some information. If you're a business owner, you send a quote and you figure if the person wants you, they'll call you back. No, implement a follow-up system. It could be like after 3 days, the email is going to say this, that. Have it ready. Have it in your draft. Mr. John Doe, I sent you a quote X day explaining X information, and put the key points why you feel that your product or your service or whatever it is for the advantage of that person. Or maybe pick up the phone. And nowadays a lot of people don't answer the telephone, but leave a voice message. Don't just hang up. Leave a voice message. Mr. John Doe, I'm following up with you based on what your needs were. I believe that our product is the best for you at this time because, don't wing it. Plan it. But implement a follow-up system. Now, if you applied at a job, most of the times we send a resume or we do the application and we're like, okay, well, if they're going to pick me, they'll let me know. But some bosses or business owners or even managers or the hiring manager, they appreciate, hey, find out who the person is, what's their name. Even if you did the application online, you could call the business and say, oh, I want to speak to the hiring manager. Oh, that's Mr. Jones, he's not available. Oh, thank you. When is the best time to call Mr. Jones? Oh, he's usually here in the mornings. Okay, well, you call Mr. Jones in the morning. Hey, Mr. Jones, my name is Susie Q. I applied with your company 2 days ago and I haven't heard back. I would like to know the status of my application. That is a follow-up system. Now, if you're like me, that your business depends on people, on networking with people, speaking to people, offering a service, it is key, imperative to have a follow-up system. Because when you speak to somebody, whether if it's for your business, your job, your application, if it's because you are offering a service and you're trying to fill a need for that person, as much as they need it, after you speak to them 10, 15 minutes, half hour, don't matter. When they move from you, when they turn and walk that way, the rest of their life hits them, right? The children, the wife, the husband, their jobs, traffic, the news, politics, the pandemic. So what are you going to do to stay in front of them? Is that follow-up system. Sometimes because you call somebody back, it has happened to me many times, because I call somebody back. Hey, E, I was just thinking about you. That thing that you offer me, that product, that lollipop, are you still selling that car? Just because you call them. People have so many things bombarding at them on a daily basis. It's not that they're not interested in your product or in your service or in your position. It's that they have so many things in front of them. So if you implement a follow-up system, if you speak to people that are very successful in whatever field that you have, or in a field that you want to get into, they'll tell you, how do you get that done? Well, I kept knocking, I kept looking, and I kept asking until I got a yes. Hang on a moment, I dropped the paper. I'm back. So these are 6 questions that we have to ask ourselves. Be honest with ourselves. And I'm going to run through them quick, but I want you to listen and re-listen and write them down. As usual, this video is not only staying here in the You Are Diamond group, but we also share it in our YouTube channel so that you can share with your friends that don't have Facebook. And you never know who might need this information. So number one, are my habits and actions and behavior in line with the vision for my business or my life? Are you doing on a daily? And it's not so much are you doing, it's are you doing enough? Number two, am I prospecting and setting appointments at the level that guarantees my success? So the example I gave you, the young lady was looking for a particular position. She wanted this position and this kind of money. She applied 250 different companies. And she didn't settle for less. But let's say, and she got what she wanted, but let's say that you don't have that much time like I mentioned. Let's say that you have to settle for something that pays less. Fine, but keep knocking on doors, keep applying. Nothing says that you have to stay here. The one that you have now, that job that you have now is paying the bills now, but you want more, so keep knocking. Are you willing to knock on 250 doors? If you're a business owner, if you have a product that you're selling, are you willing to speak to 250 people to get the amount of customers that you want or make the amount of money that you want? The next one, do I manage my time hour by hour? I'm paying attention to how I invest my time. So key, so important. So many of us, even in my career, have wasted time in things that have nothing to do. Not that they're bad. So many things out there. Listen, life is beautiful. So many things to do. But are we wasting time on things that have nothing to do with our goals, our path, where we want to go to or through? Not saying that you can't go golfing, but for right now, put your golf, whatever you call them, aside and go for it. Because when you accomplish what you want to accomplish, you'll have all the time in the world to play golf. It's called delayed gratification. We'll speak about that next time. The next one. Am I working on my skill set when it comes to leadership, product knowledge, and fundamentals? So no matter what you're doing, if you know, I know those who listen to me and look forward to our Tuesday talk are people with a higher mindset. You know, they say that a loser will stick around, a winner only for so long. So if you're listening to us every Tuesday, or if this is your first time and you're still here, it's because you have a higher mindset. You have that world-class mindset. You want more out of life, right? So are you constantly working on your leadership skills, you know, whether it's for your job, for your home, for your business, or your product knowledge? If you have a service or product that you're selling, right? As a manager, can somebody come to your store and you're able to, you know, give them what they need and they don't have to go to another store because you have the product knowledge? And not only your product knowledge, but why your product is better than another person's product. That your product could fill their need better. Because they say the best salesperson is not who sells the best. It's the one that can fill the need the best. So if you know somebody is looking for a paper, you got to know everything about your paper. Why is it the quality is better? Why the person needs this particular paper? You can't just say, oh, because it costs 10 cents less, because it costs $2 less. That's not enough for a person that really wants something, that they really need it. You got to make them need what you have so that you're filling that need. The next one, am I always working? Remember, this is the key one. Am I always working on growing in the areas that I am deficient in? That one, listen, self-explanatory. It's self-explanatory. We are not perfect. We're not know-it-all. There's things in our career, in our jobs, in our businesses that we are lacking on. So are we pushing into the back and hoping people don't realize that you're not good at it because you're so good at this one? Or are you working on that skill set so that you could be as good on that skill set as you are on the other side? For example, I use, you know, maybe your customer service is excellent, but your product knowledge is not. So are you working on it? And then the key, which I had to learn the hard way, do I have a follow-up system? My friends, again, I so appreciate you being here with me on Tuesday. On the comments, you'll see the title of the book that I'm recommended. Remember, I don't get endorsed for this. I just see and read and share, because I want all of us to be successful. There's enough room for all of us to do anything and everything that we want in this whole world, wherever you are that you're listening to me, right? So go ahead and put it in the comments which book it is. I'll go ahead and put on the comments the link to our YouTube channel, where we have most of our YouTube Tuesday Talk videos, so that you could share with your friends that are not on Facebook, and so then you could go back and look by title on a particular thing that maybe we spoke about a few weeks ago. And if you're new with us, well, you could go and listen to them. You know, that's the purpose of having them on YouTube, so that you don't have to go through Facebook and scroll and waste your time, right? And as usual, like, share, click on the bell that says notify me when Ellie Mae goes live, so that next time we're here on a Tuesday, no matter what time it is, you're able to join us. So my friends, remember, you're a diamond. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Bye for now.